Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 4 of our Health Coach Academy. It's Carrie calling in from beautiful Townsville. I'm very excited, about today's call because we've got a lot of information to go through. One of my favorite, aspects or topics about our business, which is duplication and the power of it. Also, guys, because I'm incredibly proud of what everybody has achieved over the last 4 weeks, and seeing all of the the feedback, the homework being completed, the business growth, especially leading out of the Herbalife Spectacular. So we've got a couple of people on our live call today, and we've also got a lot of people listening into the recording. So wherever you are, guys, we want to make sure we finish this series of calls off strong and have some feedback. So all right, guys, now what I'm going to do is, in fine form, as we always do, we start off the call with some personal development. And I've got a couple of Jim Rohn quotes here, and I really want you to pay attention, because to me, Jim Rohn learning is lifelong learning. Like the things that he says relates to not just your business mindset, but also your everyday living mindset. And I think that's so important. He always says to work harder on yourself than you do on your business or you do on your job. And, guys, it doesn't mean you take too much time out, trying to find yourself. It's finding yourself in the moment and saying to yourself, am I on track? Am I doing what I intended to do? And just finding your course a little bit easier. So remind yourself that you're bound to get better. Don't get down on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's the next opportunity that matters, not the last one. Okay, so, guys, quite often I see people, they miss events or skip a training because they lose their excitement, or they think they don't need to be on that. And, guys, it's really undercutting yourself when you're saying to yourself that I don't need that opportunity to learn or to grow. That's just a different perspective. I don't skip anything because I want to grow. I want to be the best, person I can be, not just in business, but in life, and have the right, mental mentality to achieve anything that I want to. So it's just a continuously, working on yourself every single day. Any day we wish we can start the process of life change. We can do it immediately, or next week, or next month, or next year. We can also do nothing. We can remain as we are. Guys, that's, happiness or stress or, success. It's a mindset. Whatever you set yourself to do is what's going to come about. So, guys, if you make the decision not to do anything about, a certain situation or your activity, well, that's a simple choice, isn't it? But it's also a choice to, get over yourself, get up, get that little bit better, get that little bit confident, talk to that one more person, and just move on. That's a choice as well. Okay, so our topic, of our theme of the call is really duplication and events. I'm going to get some feedback and good news in a moment, guys. But, this is the power of duplication that's happened in my Herbalife career. And these are all of the spectaculars that I've been to. Okay, just muting everybody. Okay. And also all the spectaculars that have happened in Australia, which has been very cool. And guys, my first spectacular over here in the top left, there was like 300 people in the room. I thought the Herbalife was out of control then. And as you can see, this is my 8th spectacular this year. Look at the power of duplication, guys. Like, I didn't go from 1 to, 65 overnight. It was a process over 8 years. So, 1 became 3, 3 became, 4, 4 became, a dozen, a dozen became 20, 30, 50, 60 plus, So guys, I just wanted to paint that picture for you, because It's 12 months between each spectacular and each event. And, you know, things happen in the middle of it, but you've just got to be patient, keep working, make sure you're, you know, learning the things that, you know, we teach on our calls and the system pipeline, so that it enables you to duplicate a successful business, okay? One of the things that I'm very strong on, guys, is being intentional about your business. Like, are you being intentional about the conversation you're having with your customers? Are you being intentional about, you know, the sign up that you're doing, the follow up that you're doing? Are you being intentional about the calls that you're on? You know, like people sit, it baffles me when people sit on a call and don't actually be on the call. You know, last night I was on all 3 calls, listening, taking notes, and, you know, to be honest, being amazed at the content that we're hearing, because we got some serious press team in our team. So, you know, guys, it's always about learning and growing and just keep going. You know, imagine if I stopped going here because I got disheartened, you know, within this process. And guys, let me tell you something. Out of everybody in this group, every year has grown, right? But a lot of people in between have stopped coming, or they've quit. You know, isn't that just incredible? They've quit. Then actually there's a few, or probably, 2 or 3 people that potentially could be Get Team, but they quit, okay, in the middle here. So imagine that. That's just crazy, right? All right, so yeah, guys, that's it, Karen. It is certainly building momentum. And what builds momentum is the pipeline. It's like, you know, we always come back to this, guys, because if you skip the steps, it's going to take a lot longer. Okay, so, I mean, don't ever compare yourself to people, guys. You know, for what I've done in, you know, 8 or 9 years of my Herbalife career, some people have done in 4 years. Would I change a thing? Absolutely not. Like, everybody's on their own journey, okay? But I don't skip any of the events. I don't skip the pipeline to success, all right? That's what I know, and I know that to be President's Team, you got to get to the monthly events. You've got to get to the World Team Training, the LDWs. You know, you've got to get to the extravaganza, you know, so that you can start to advance and grow your organization. So you're hitting the royalty points that qualify you for the future future President's Team retreat, for the Herbalife Honors. But if you skip the steps in between, guys, you're not going to get to the next step. It's like graduating. You know, it's like the school term just started, right? If your kids started missing the school days, is your teacher going to graduate, you know, the kid from, you know, this year's class, or hold them down, you know, for the next year? So if you skip the steps last year, you know, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But the great thing is, as we go back to that Jim Rohn quote, is you can change all of that. You know, it's just a really simple decision, right? All right, now let's hear from everybody. So we've got Jess, Karen, Carly, and Leisha on the call today. That's so awesome. I might just do it in the order of everybody logging in. So let's just share some good news, some homework, some feedback about the last 4 weeks. So Carly, you were the first one to log in. So I'll unmute you, and if you can just kick it away.
Morning, everybody. This on the weekend was just amazing with Krita, and I've just listened to Jim Rohn every morning, and I've done flyers as well, so it's been amazing.
Oh, well done, Carly. That's awesome. Very excited about your next 90 days. All right, Karen Wells, come on in, Karen.
Marketing plan. So for me, I've really sort of had a bit of a, fire in my belly since coming back from Spectacular. I've really sat down, worked out where I want to be, how I want to do my day, as far as, you know, even things like what I'm posting, being a little bit more intentional with my invitations, flyers. I've just smashed out 200 today and 100 yesterday. So I'm really kind of getting out of my comfort zone a little bit more, and I've done some competition boxes which I'm ready to put out once the schools all start back. So yeah, really incredible, and looking forward to this year.
That is so awesome, Karen. Hey, Karen, were you at last year's Spectacular? I just can't remember.
Yeah, I was.
Yes, you were. Yeah. Okay. So what was your feeling? I mean, that was your first Spectacular last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yep.
What was the difference, I suppose, going into this year's Spectacular for you?
I guess it was a little bit more focused. Last year I was a little bit like in awe of everything, and like, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, you know, you sort of wowed by everything. And I guess my process of putting things into plan and coming home have been more concrete this time. So I'm a little bit more on track with where I'm going with my business, whereas last year I was kind of not that focused. I guess I was still finding my way. It was early days for me. I hadn't long been on the product, so it was sort of, I hadn't lost very much weight. I didn't have the confidence in, you know, where I was going with the business. But this year, no, I'm you know, moving forward and know exactly where I want to be. So putting things into place, more concreting. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I wanted to ask that because it, like, sometimes it's the first, like, it's like someone's for my first extravaganza, I was like, whoa, like I don't even remember what I learned. It was just, it's the showcase, isn't it, of Herbalife? And then next year you're like, all right, I know why I'm here. I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn and keep moving forward. Hey.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Come on in. I think that's Jess.
Hey, everybody. I think it's Tuesday. I've just had a beautiful morning. But, yeah, I guess just coming out of Spectacular was the same. Just really have I can be someone who can try to do a lot of stuff, and I get really frustrated when I don't get it done. So really just made my plan so simple, and it just feels so good because I just keep ticking everything off every day. And yeah, just been smashing our 90-day plan. Me and Clay have just worked out exactly what we need to do to be where we want to be by the next Spectacular. The STS on the weekend just was so in line with where we are right now, where Lee and Amy were 12 months ago. And yeah, it was just so, I guess it just instills that belief a bit more in yourself that you can, it doesn't really matter where you are. Like he was saying, you know, he saw himself at Meal Team even though he didn't have the business yet. And I guess that's how we've been feeling. And then you know, you could be around certain people who are like, oh, well, actually, you know, you need more of this, da, da, da. And I think just one of the biggest things we've taken from it is just we're really clear on the people we're surrounding ourselves with. And I just love listening to the meal training tapes again. That's just been, it just reminds me, I keep thinking now I'm back doing my flyers and everything, me and Cairns when I did my first ever 90-day plan, and I used to put the flyer in the letterbox, be like, this is my next press team, and yeah, it just gets me so excited about what's going to happen, you know, the next decade. And just I love how in the training tape 3, he talked about, you know, eating your crust first, and you know, a lot of the stuff that we make excuses for, whatever, if you really evaluate it, it's just about doing those nitty-gritty things first thing, so you can't procrastinate, get it done, and then you've got the rest of the day to sort of set yourself up. So yeah, it's just been great. We've got a HOM starting here, which I'm just so happy about because I've definitely felt I needed that. I've always done my business by recruiting and retail, and I just feel like I haven't been, you know, rowing both oars, and I can just see the growth that's going to happen, not just in our business, but the community here in the Sunshine Coast. And yeah, just feeling awesome. Had a great morning.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jess. Oh my gosh, I'm very excited. All right, come on in, Leisha.
Hi guys, Leisha here. Happy to be on the call. I just looked at those photos. It was my 4th Spectacular. So I've had more than my fair share of challenges through those 4 years. But really coming out of this Spectacular, I think just listening to just the mothers, I suppose, for me really resonated, but there was a lot of stuff that I could relate back to, especially this past year. So I came out of Spectacular knowing that I hadn't done, what I said I was going to do, and then just with the mindset of changing all of that, because this is where I want to be. I know this Spectacular really made me realise that this is the business that I want to be in forever. I don't want to work for anybody else. So many people that I've spoken to since I've got back, I'm like, can you make an appointment this day? And so just making appointments. Oh, no, I've got to work. Oh, no, if I don't go to work. Oh, no, if I don't do this. I don't have that. So I've probably taken that for granted. So that's one of the things I sort of came out. And then also just being on the calls last night, I nearly didn't switch on for that health coach call because I had all the kids run around the background, and I was just like, they wouldn't go to bed. And I thought, no, it's not even worth it. The Wi-Fi is only working in the lounge at the moment. So I clicked on, tried to get them all quiet, and I'm really glad I did, because some of the things that were said on that call, I was like, okay, I've been saying I'm doing that. I'm not doing it properly. So it was really about recognising myself this year. And now I know where I want to be. I've made all those decisions. I've made all those plans, and now I've just got to get to work. So I'm really, really excited for this next 90 days. It will be my first 90 days that I will complete in full. So I'm very, very excited. I know that I can do it. I've just got to get rid of the distractions. So that's me for today.
Awesome. Thanks, Leisha. And, we heard from Amber and Jason Wicks. When was that? That was the August World Team weekend, right? And they were stuck, and I'm not saying you are stuck or you have been stuck, because you only graduated, you only became world team member just over 12 months ago, but they were stuck on the world team for 7 years, which is such a long time. But they said one of the things that really, I suppose, stands out with me and from their training is they wouldn't change a thing, because everything that's brought them to this point has allowed them to be the president's team, or 15K president's team members that they are today, because they've learned what distracted them. They learned what got them back on track. They learned about the system pipeline. They've learned, how to look after their people. So isn't it so interesting that even though I think sometimes we compare ourselves to each other with the time point of view, or, what they're doing or what I'm doing or whatever, but it's all relevant because it brings you to becoming that, Get Millen President's team member that you will be as an individual. There'll be so many traits in you as you move up the marketing plan that people will be so inspired by. And, I cannot wait till you're up on stage, at the next Spectacular being pinned, because people are going to hear your story and go, how amazing was that? We have no excuses. So, it's so relative with everything that we do. So I'm very, very excited for your business, Leisha, this year. It's going to be awesome, and let's smash that 90-day plan. All right, so guys, let's get into the call. So here we are. I'm going to go through a couple of things that really can help change the way your business is. The first of all, the first aspect, guys, is the form process. And if you're someone that doesn't really know how to chit chat with someone or build rapport with someone, this is a great way to start, building your confidence, and eventually it really flows. When I started in the business, I was always thinking of what do I say to someone? How do I, build a relationship with someone? I'd never been taught that before. It was basically, if I didn't know someone, I don't talk to them. Whereas now, I use every opportunity to talk to someone new. It might be at the checkout, hey, how's your day going? It might be at the hairdresser. It might be, just walking out and about, so but a couple of simple, like, get over yourself and start the conversation can really change the course with that person. And let's face it, everybody out there, either needs our products or needs our business opportunity or needs both. So that we're just missing opportunities by not stepping out of our comfort zone and creating a conversation. So this really helped me in how I could, start to develop a conversation with someone. And if it doesn't go anywhere, doesn't matter. What's the worst that's happened? But imagine if it does. Imagine if that conversation leads you somewhere. So, guys, it's really simple. It's just like a couple of key points to bring you to a topic. So the first one is family, occupation, recreation, and M is for message. So really listening for the message. So it could be like, you're at a barbecue, you've met someone new through a friend of a friend, and, you can start to ask that person about their family, and they might say, yeah, I've got, 3 kids. This is my first barbecue in a long time. I've been working heaps and I rarely get a day off, so it's great to spend some time with my family. And then, the next prompt could be about occupation. Oh, is that right? What do you actually do? I work in a warehouse, and, you can ask more questions about that. Like, oh, so, what's your role there? Do you love it? Like, no, I hate it. I work 60 plus hours a week. The pay's, horrible. Blah, blah, blah. And then recreation, okay, so what do you get out and do for fun? Like, do you have that time? Recreation could, imagine if they said, well, I don't really, because by the time I'm home, I'm buggered. Like, I'm so tired, or I don't have a lot of spare time. So guys, the message in there is that this person, has no time freedom, hates their job, and has low energy. Okay, right in there's, all of that leads to an opportunity to match them up with the Herbalife solution. Okay, so, but if you're closed with that and you're not intentional with your conversation, you would have just heard some guy, complaining or whinging or, just unhappy with life, and, move on to the next exciting person. Whereas you could say to that person, well, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I work with Herbalife Nutrition. I coach people, help them feel good and, increase their energy. And there's also a business opportunity, and you'd obviously say that in your words. But that's something that I would do, and just give them the opportunity, or just simply create more rapport with them, so that the next time you see them, because they're going to ask you, if they do, they're going to ask you what you do, and you can, let them know what you do as a coach. It doesn't mean you have to pitch them on the spot, guys. Like, it's the boiled potato method that we spoke about last week. Build that relationship with that person, add them on Facebook, connect with them. Okay, so, just a couple of prompts. This is the 3 R's in our business: retail, recruiting, and retention. Okay, and guys, all of this, everything we do, when we're retailing, when we're recruiting, when we're looking after customers, everything we do leads to a business presentation. So a Herbalife opportunity meeting, whether it's a live one, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's just that simple sign up, guys, that's that showcase, right? Just whatever you're showing the opportunity or showing the bigger picture. Because, guys, when you're retailing, think about your clients as your next president's team member, because potentially they are. Okay, when you're out and about and having intentional conversations with people for them looking for an opportunity, that leads into a business presentation. And then, guys, retention, that third key, okay, retaining your clients and retaining your members. You never know when someone is ready. Okay, you never know when a client or a VIP has been on the products for a long time is ready to step up for the business side of things. But don't push them, too fast, too quickly. Just work on whatever their goals is. But these are the 3 important R's in our business. Mastering your Herbalife house, guys. I want you to write this down. If you're not doing your 2,500 volume points by the 20th of the month, every single month, it's imperative that you stay on these calls, okay? Because you need to master all these skills. Now, you're certainly not going to learn everything by just being on the calls, guys, but something's going to tick, something's going to click. Your consistency alone is going to, change the course of how the universe responds to you because you're being consistent, okay? Because that 2,500 volume point house is what is the key to duplication in your business, because what you do, your team will follow, okay? So you've got your retail. Guys, if you're not at your level 10, get to your level 10. Okay, we have the best products. We got seriously everything that we need. We've got the sports range, we've got the inner nutrition, we've got the outer nutrition. You have everything there to feel and look your absolute best. What's the difference between looking good and not looking good? Putting the products in your mouth, putting the products in your skin. Okay, and then you're working on new retail every month. We're not saying go get your 20 customers right now. If you have to build up that 2,500 volume point house again, that's fine. Just work on your 5 to 7 clients this month. Okay, so if you have to build that up again, that is totally fine. We all are there at some point, maybe. But, just work on the 5 to the 7, not 20, not find 20 right now. Okay, and don't be disheartened if you get 3. Next month, you know what to do. My goal is 5 to 7 new clients. Okay, and then that'll, by default, go through the next process. So, I have the perfect example. I have when you're a tab team member and you're doing your correct volume, Herbalife sends you leads, which is cool. Like people that just want to get on Herbalife, they don't have a coach or someone they've spoke to, and Herbalife sends you these leads. So I have a new client start just after Christmas on a quick start program, and I went through her wellness evaluation. I went through the script with her, I don't need the script anymore, but I just went through the process of getting her started on Quick Start Advanced Ultimate. She chose the Quick Start, and I said, okay, great. So this month you're going to pay full retail. If you love the products, which I totally know you will, you get registered on your next order. And so about 2.5 weeks in, she's like, hey, I want to try a different flavor shake. Awesome. Would you like to pay retail or would you like to pay wholesale? Which jogs her memories, and she said, oh yes, that's right, I'll get registered for the discount. Okay, so last week she got registered. So that was a 2-3 week process. So she's gone from my retail bucket to my existing customer. Okay, so she's sort of moved in from here to now a member. Okay, so now my next step with her is to show her, how she can upgrade, and I'm not doing that right now with her. My focus is results with her, getting her good results and, getting her to achieve her goals that she wants. So she's been added to the team page. She's been welcomed. Everybody's been amazing and edified her. But, we're not ready to take that next step. However, she's being exposed to the business side of things by just being on that page. Okay, so guys, it's a really important process. Now, it can feel like a slow process if you're just doing that with one person. So that's why you need to have that focus on 5 new people every single month. Okay, because you got 5 people that you're looking after this month and taking them through getting excellent results. Next month, maybe 3 might decide to stay on the products or do the registration. So you're focusing on 5 new ones next month. Okay, and 2 people might drop off. You're always constantly filling up the rooms, guys. A couple of years ago, we learned this concept from a lot of the Korean Herbalife distributors, and they kind of went through what we call the cash formula, and it sort of explains the psyche of a distributor. Okay, so K, starting with knowledge, and with it's a very tricky one to explain, but with someone coming into the business for the very first time, knowledge is what they need. So they need to step up and, listen to the trainings, listen to the nutrition calls, or, the STS, the kickoffs, so they get a little bit more knowledge. Because when someone starts, they've got that incompetence because they, I suppose the incompetence and ignorance, it's a nice way of saying that they don't know anything yet. So they start with that platform of needing to know more things. Okay, and then the next part, guys, is developing that competence or developing that knowledge, okay, and having that understanding. So now the A represents attitude, working on the attitude. So you're starting to understand the marketing plan. You're starting to understand, the retail aspect of things, and it's really working on now the attitude. So we've gone from knowledge to attitude. The S represents skill. Okay, now this person, so it might be over a course of months, it might be over a course of a year. The next stage is developing skills. So this person is quite competent. They have that understanding. Okay, they have the understanding of the business methods, the business plan, and they're starting to lead into the H, which is habit, which is competent. Okay, so we go from needing knowledge to working on our attitude to creating skills, learning the skills to success, and then things becoming a habit. Okay, it's like our shake in the morning. Guys, remember when we first started, it was like, oh yeah, I got to have that shake. Oh, I forgot my tablets. All right, I'll just start again tomorrow. Guys, or everybody on this call, I know that if we all were lying in bed at night and go, oh my gosh, did I have my tabbies? We'd all get out of bed because that's a habit, isn't it? To go have our tabbies. Okay, so it's like your events as well, guys. That becomes habit to go or not go. Okay, as Leisha was talking about, last night's call, that's a habit to be on that call or not be on that call. Okay, regardless of what's happening. Okay, so, guys, that's how, your distributors may, where it's sort of a great little pipeline to see where your distributors are at. Someone can certainly be at H and need to go back to A and work on their attitude. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so guys, here's the power of it all, the power of duplication. So, guys, we don't need 1 million people to create an incredible business. It just starts with you. It starts with you building your business, building your knowledge, building your attitude, developing your skills, eventually having some incredible habits, good habits, okay? And then duplicating that. So example 1 shows a Get Team business. Example 2 shows a Millionaire Team business. Example 3 shows a President's Team business. You're not like, you're the variable here. No one can say you can only do this, you can only do this. You are the only variable in the examples. It's your decision to be at 1, 2, or 3. Now, the beauty is, if you're at 3, you're in Herbalife forever. Like, there's no doubt about it, because you've got to have that attitude of whether it takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years to be President's Team. That's the attitude. Guys, don't hit the Discord button on the way to achieving success. Okay, just because you're not there in 5, 10 years doesn't mean you can't be. But guys, the key is consistency. Like, everything we do is building that foundation. So I want you guys, everybody on this call and listening into the recording, I want you guys to commit to our system for at least this next 12 months. Put everything in your diary right now, non-negotiable. Your events, your Monday night calls, your health coach academies when they're announced, your pay plan calls if you need that. Okay? If you commit to that, guys, you will learn the skills to duplicate your business. If you don't, you're going to be held in the 3rd grade and stay there for a couple of years. Okay, so if you commit and just, knowingly know this, there's a system pipeline, and I'm going to do what my mentor or whoever's running the calls, are doing, because that's the system pipeline to success. I guarantee you will move up the marketing plan 2 or 3 pins, in the next 1 to 2 years. But if you skip them, don't say to yourself, why me? Poor me. This happened to me. Okay, I know I'm being probably a little bit strong, and I don't want to be, but guys, it's the reality. No President's Team member got to President's Team by skipping any of the events. They're ruthless when it comes to their obligation to their business and the system pipeline. Okay, so after you get to the supervisor position, guys, the world team position is the next position, isn't it? So it's mastering your 2,500 volume points consistently. Now, how do you build an active world team house? Is by duplication. So guys, imagine that this is your development. Think about, property development. You build a house, a solid house, you can build other solid houses. Okay, again, it starts with you. So if you've got your house and you build 4 houses of 2,500, that's what we call an active world team business. Now, how do you get from active world team to global expansion team? Guys, do the maths. All you need is 8 people doing 2,500 volume. Okay, so it's all about, I know I've said it 1 million times now on this call, but it is all about duplication. Come back to yourself. One of the things, if I'm not getting a client, or I'm wondering why, my retail's a little bit low, I always come back to, well, how's my product result? Like, how am I going with the products? Am I getting a little bit lazy with my second shake? Or, am I not drinking as much tea? It always comes back to what I'm doing. And the minute I smash my products, and, whether it's a public thing or whether it's private, I guarantee I get a client. I think sometimes, guys, it comes down to the confidence in your voice, your eye contact with that person. Because if you're solid with your product use, no one can argue with that. We spoke about that on last night's nutrition call. No one can argue with your own product use. So one of the parts of homework, guys, is mapping out your organization. And for our leaders, like our leadership that are on the Get Team Academies and above, this is something that we practice every single month, that we do by the 5th of the month. We play what if with the business. So guys, what you do is you grab a big piece of paper, you map it out, you put you at the top. So this is how you plan your, I know we're at the end of January, but your February, for example. You put your name at the top and you put your monthly goal. Okay, so my goal is 5,000 volume points. And then, guys, you draw your first line people. So the circles represent your members and your squares are your supervisors. Okay, and just map out your 3 levels in your organization and see what everybody's doing. Now, play what if. Now, if someone's not doing anything, guys, don't put their circle there. Maybe that's a prompt to talk to, rekindle with that person, or touch base with that person, see how they are. Might just be, they might just need a little bit of support. Now, if they're not doing anything, you don't play what if with someone that's not going to do anything. Now, you've got this person who's doing 300 volume points every single month. Okay, here's the time to go play what if. Hey, what if we got this person to 500 volume points this month? And talk to that person and say, hey, you're so close to senior consultant, let's, do some planning. Or that person's got this person underneath, how can we, do something, with both of them? You know what I mean? Okay, so now you've got this supervisor. They're doing 800 volume points a month. Let's help them get to 1,000 volume points, this month as a goal. Or they might have told you their goal of 2,500 volume points. So their goal is 2,500. So what you can't do, guys, is play unrealistic what if and say, okay, I want to get to 10 this month. This is how. If this needs building, then that needs building. All right. Now, let me show you guys the power of duplication. By just bringing one person into your business every month, having a focus on that. Okay. Imagine January, by the end of this month, you've got one new person. Next month, they got one person and you got your one person. Remember, what you do, your team does. By March, leading into the Leadership Development Weekend, you've gone from one new person to 3 new people. Now you've got 7 new people. The power of duplication, because you've found one person, that other person's found one new person. Everybody's just finding one. Check this out, guys. By extravaganza, the system pipeline here now. The extravaganza, look how many people you got. Maybe not all of them go to the extravaganza, that's fine. Maybe not all of them are in the business, but look at the members that you got. June, check that out. This is the power of duplication with one person, guys. So within 6 months, you've gone from 1 to 63 people. There's no doubt about that you'd have at least 6 to 10 supervisors within that 6 months. Okay, now I haven't showed in the slide, but like after 12 months, guys, the duplication's crazy. That actually becomes over 4,000 people by duplicating one who gets one who gets one. Isn't that out of control? But some of us get caught up here, because we're only focused on, oh, well, I've only got 3. I've only got 5. I've only got 1. And you don't have that long-term vision. You got to look past that in order to achieve that. So, guys, I'm going to post this up into the group chat later on. And this is just a great little action team, monthly checklist. Something for you to remind yourself, have I done this? Have I done this? Am I using the products? Am I wearing my button or wearing the brand? Am I creating my list and continuously adding to it? I contact this many people a day. Am I satisfying my customers? Am I doing good customer management? All right. So it's just a great little prompt of like a monthly checklist. So guys, we're going to finish off the call. So let me recap on the few weeks of homework and then give you today's homework. And then for the people that are on our live call, very excited, please post promote ASAP about this academy. I know that a lot of you guys have certainly moved up in terms of your, your volume, your business leading out of the spectacular. I mean, it's just going to be out of control 2017. So we're listening to the Millionaire Team training tapes, okay? Working on your goals, your 50, your 10, your 5. So that's your 50 yearly goals, 10 monthly, and 5 weekly goals. Remember, guys, with your goals, it could be as simple as I need to work on my product use. 3, 2, 1 for 30 days in a row consistently. See what happens then. Filling in your daily itinerary. Guys, everybody does this. I had a Get team member email me their daily itinerary yesterday. We don't get phased and say it's just for brand new people. This is for everybody who's serious about building their business. Making sure you know your monthly schedule of events for the next 90 days. Ordering by the internet what you don't use. So we went through that product list. Working on your COI list and focusing on intentional 5 new clients a month. Okay, week 2, adding to that, practicing 10 wellness evaluations. Week 3, was really talking about zero to get team in a short amount of time. Power of duplication, wasn't it? So part of that was watching the Joanna Guiano and the Leon Weisbein trainings. I'd love to hear feedback on the Leon Weisbein trainings. I listened to them as well the other day, guys. It really is amazing. So make sure you're paying attention. It talks about multi-level customer base building. Okay? A lot of people hear what to do, but a lot of people don't do what they should be doing. All right? Keep focusing on your new clients and upgrading 1 to 3 new members. And week 4, this week, guys, so listen to the last tape of the Millionaire Team training. Post promote like crazy on your team page about, you know, what you got out of the last 4-week academy, you know, and what you're going to implement. Are you excited about the next one? Because, guys, the next one's going to be announced. Part of your homework is leading by example. So as soon as the next academy is announced onto the Herbie Dream Team page, guys, you need to comment, like, go crazy, and make sure your team gets registered for it. We have the beauty of, you know, having the recordings available straight away, you know, for your team members. So there really is no excuses to developing your mindset and developing your business. Start reading a personal development book and more importantly, put it into practice. You know, I know on our focus group call, we're reading Seasons of Life by Jim Rohn, the most life-changing. If that's the only book you ever read, guys, your life would change if you read it consistently and over. Register for the next major training or the kickoff or the STS. You know, guys, make sure you're being obvious about that as well. Okay, if you've registered for something, post about it. Contact 5 to 10 minimum of your members to promote the next academy and get them registered. Okay, so you've got to start being in pre-promotion. Oh my gosh, I just got off the most amazing, you know, the kickoff health coach academy for 2017 with Carrie. It was so awesome. You know, this is what I learned. I really encourage you to get on to the next one to grow your business. Map out your month if you haven't done it. And lastly, be awesome. And guys, let's get excited. Our next academy is going to be hosted by Active World team member Shona Gates. Now, guys, some of you have heard Shona's story. She's so amazing. And you know, I first met these guys, it would have been it was certainly over 12 months ago, but it was at a 2-day event in Adelaide. Let me just think here. And we had Rob and Christy Walsh there as well. And Shona and Aaron told me their story, like literally where they were using food coupons to buy food. Like it was, I was baffled, like that was them, you know, that was their story, and how much Herbalife had changed, you know, not just their physical appearance, but their mental appearance at that point. Now, you know, over, 12 months on, these guys have built an incredible business. They're going to be global expansion team members very, very soon. They're very systemized. They're very duplicatable. And that's why they're building a strong, solid team. So you guys are lucky enough to know that the dates have already been announced, the times have already been announced, so you can start to put this into your diary and start to promote to your guys. But as soon as it's promoted onto the team page, guys, you know, this is your opportunity to lead from the front and learn the art of promotion. Okay, don't just tag people, let them know what they're in for. Always keep learning, guys. This is an awesome place to get information. Our own video.herbalife.com. This has certainly been upgraded since this picture. So, you know, take advantage of it. Sometimes you've got to log into this site because it's, you know, obviously insight for Herbalife distributors only. I'm going to finish off on this quote, guys. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, absolutely, Alicia. It's just adjusting to the time zones. You know, guys, one of the key questions to ask yourself on a daily basis, you know, in front of you, is, would I hire or fire myself today? Okay, if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, ask yourself, did I do what I should be doing to be making $10,000 a month in Herbalife? Or is it more $500 a month? You know, it always comes back down to that. Okay, if it's not, guys, here's the thing. Don't beat yourself up. You know how we started the call with the Jim Rohn quotes. Just make the decision. Everything is the decision. Okay, you are the only variable and you are all you need in this business. If your upline dropped out, who cares? Because you have the power to control your destiny with your business. You have everything available to you to have an incredible lifestyle, incredible fortune. I mean, listen how we just left the spectacular with John Tartle. His sponsor only ever signed him up. Okay, and then he just hooked into whatever he needed to do. Okay, so, you know, a lot of the most successful distributors in the world, you know, their sponsors have dropped out, you know, 5, 6, 7 lines up. But they're so grateful for that one person that changed their life, right? So, guys, just implement and do what you learn on the calls, learn at the events. Don't make excuses about your business and where you're at. Just make decisions about where you're going to be by the actions that you do today, and go to bed feeling satisfied, knowing that, you know what, if you didn't get a sale, if you didn't get a new distributor, did I do everything that I set out to do today? If not, tomorrow's a brand new day. Make the decision to stop having days like that. So thanks so much, guys. I'm very excited. I'll be uploading this recording ASAP. And I'm so excited about the next round of calls. So make sure you've got your homework set out, guys, and register for your next events happening around the country. See you guys.